The case for the electric car. This is a technical brief. There's some units you're not used to in this brief. If I don't define a unit and it confuses you, please interrupt me so we can move forward with the brief and the understanding. We're not going to talk about dollars per mile or cost in this brief. We're going to focus on energy. So we have well-to-wheel energy. Well-to-wheel energy means getting the substance out of the ground in the case of fossil fuels, whether it be coal or oil, or harvesting the biomass, be it corn, grass, or whatever. And to well means putting that energy into the automobile in a useful purpose. We'll also talk, as you see, from green fuel choices. Do electric vehicles just move the problem upstream? It's a question you may have heard debated, and we'll answer that. So, a pretty good gasoline car, 26 miles per gallon. The minivan we just bought gets 25. Gasoline energy content, so 34 megajoules, a lot of energy. Gasoline is below explosives in total energy content. Production efficiency, 81.7% of the total energy. When you convert this to well-to-wheel, then, that 26 mile per gallon car gets 3.8 megajoules per kilometer to make it move. Okay, that's our baseline. What about a really good gasoline car? It gets 41 miles per gallon. It only needs 2.41 megajoules per kilometer. So let's make the broad assumption that the less energy to go a given distance means a lower cost to the consumer to operate the vehicle. It's a broad assumption because energy has different costs per form. Now, what about a high-performance electric sports car? Namely the Tesla One Roadster, which is made just up the road, and Martin Eberhard was the founder and inventor of that car. It gets 150 watt-hours per kilometer. So you can see the conversion, 0.54 megajoules per kilometer. Charging efficiency, 90%. Electric grid, 92%. Coal plant net energy ratio, 29%. So only 29% of the total energy in the coal comes out of the plant as electricity. So what's that get us? 2.24 megajoules per kilometer. What could we do? Well, Japan has an electric power plant that's 45% efficient. Much better than the 29% efficiency. That gets us down to 1.72. In the US, we have an abundance of natural gas, and some of our best power plants burn natural gas. 60% efficiency. That lowers us down to 1.14. So here's the overall comparison of how to motivate our car. Our baseline was down at 3.8 megajoules. The high-performance Roadster using natural gas in the modern plant up to 1.14. So you can see in terms of energy utilization, the electric car consumes less energy to go a kilometer than the baseline gasoline car. But what if we don't like fossil fuels? We don't like coal, we don't like gasoline, we don't like natural gas. Could I fuel my electric vehicle some other way? Is the electric vehicle more efficient than the green car? We have fuel cell cars out there. So, the fuel cell. Basic chemistry, you add hydrogen into the fuel cell. Where does hydrogen come from? Are there hydrogen mines in the world? Well, no. Hydrogen comes from water, the liquid of life. But to get the water into oxygen and hydrogen, I need electricity again. And that makes hydrogen, which supplies my fuel cell, which consumes fuel and oxygen from the air, producing water and electricity to motivate my car. So hydrogen is no longer a fuel, It's an energy transporter, an energy carrier. So, how much does my fuel cell car go with that electricity that I used to create the hydrogen? So, we said where electricity comes from. It can also come from green sources, photovoltaic, wind turbines, hydroelectric, geothermal. So here's what we end up with. 1 megawatt hour. The electrolysis is not 100% efficient. It's only 70%. Hydrogen, to be efficient in a car, has to be compressed. That uses energy. And the fuel cell is only 40% efficient. So we get 1,100 miles. What about that 1 megawatt hour for our electric car? We can get 3,600 miles, 3 times farther. What about ethanol? You know, we could go to 100% ethanol in our cars by E85. So that uses biomass. We won't debate in here the merits of corn versus grass. We'll call it biomass. So our base unit, 1 ton of biomass, produces 50 gallons of gasoline equivalent. So that's the stored energy in ethanol versus using gasoline as the baseline. The internal combustion engine, we're being very generous, 45 miles per gallon. That gets our 100% ethanol car 2,200 miles. But what if I use that 1 ton of biomass to produce electricity? So we can get 1,000 kilowatt hours per ton out of a fancy regeneration cycle plant. Electric cars 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour, so I get 3,600 miles. So a little bit more than 50% further than if I used 100% ethanol. What about other green forms of just making electricity? In the California desert, we have this solar thermal plant which focuses the sun and makes 354 megawatts. Walmart rooftop with photovoltaic cells, just like the rooftops here. Mark Neverhard's house, he hardly pays for any electricity. So in comparison, the electric car is the best choice because it uses the least amount of energy and has the greatest source. Thank you very much.